Olaf, what's up, Olaf? It says, when interlinking GMB posts, do I link to the post on the GMB website or the actual post? Well, the actual post, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but when you're interlinking I always like to link. It depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to do like what I call a push silo, again, the diagrams and the methods for the two different types of silos that I do with GMB posts are in the GMB process checklist, gmbprocess.com. But I do two types of GMB post silos. One is called a push silo, which is to essentially push all of the link equity from the silo out through one target to one target URL. Okay. And if that's the case, then you want to daisy chain post together using the inner page URLs from the GMB website. Okay. But if you're doing the other type of silo, GMB post silo structure is called a mirror silo. And a mirror silo is slightly different because you daisy chain or silo the GMB post together using the inner page URL still, but you do that as a text link within the post body of the GMB post. So to be clear, a CTA button, so the button, a call to action button on a GMB post is a follow link. So if you're trying to push link equity, then you want to always link using the inner page URL from the GMB website for the post. Okay. But if you're trying to get engagement signals, then the best URL to use for the GMB posts is the share URL, either in Google Maps or from the knowledge panel, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is GMB posts have a share URL, but any share URL for GMB posts go through multiple 302 redirects, which means it will not pass link equity. PageRank does not pass through 302 redirects. But those are the URLs that Google is expecting to see click activity on. Does that make sense? So you can use both. If you're trying purely SEO methods, you're going to always use the inner page URL from the GMB website for each post. Okay, because that will pass there are no 302 redirects in that. So you can push link equity through those posts. And if you're doing a silo, you would daisy chain them together using a push silo. You would, the CTA button would link to whatever you're trying to push link equity to at the top of silo GMB post. And in each subsequent post would link with the CTA button to the inner page URL of the previous post. Does that make sense? And that way, if you have got five GMB posts all daisy chained together, and you do a shit ton of link building to all 5 of those GMB posts, all of the link equity is going to flow through the CTA buttons to the inner page URLs, passing link equity from post 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and then out the CTA button to whatever your target URL is. So all that link equity goes through that one. That's why I call it a push silo, because it's pushing all of it through one target URL at the top of silo post through the CTA button. So in that case, you always want to use the inner page URLs. Does that make sense? But if you're going to be doing something like click-through rate manipulation, which absolutely works, then you want to be also, or you want to use the share URLs, because Google is expecting to see click activity on those share URLs. So it depends on what your strategy is. Purely SEO methods, you want to use inner page URLs always. But for a more natural looking kind of, for sending engagement signals and everything else, you want to use the share URLs. So it just depends on what your goal is. Okay. I recommend doing both, because for SEO purposes, you use a push silo, inner page URLs, and you can push link equity anywhere you want with that method, but also doing click-throughs, so to essentially manipulate engagement signals using share URLs. So you can do both. And I would recommend doing both, because you'll get better results than if you just do one or the other. Okay. Also, what does this mean? Embed GMB site, add schema, add KML and geositemap files to the domain root. Well, again, guys, the whole point of the GMB checklist is to be conceptual, like high level overview. I can't share and give away exactly all the, how to execute every task here in a free setting. That's what the Semantic Mastery Mastermind is for, Olaf. So I apologize. Come join the mastermind. You want to get step-by-step instructions for how to execute every single one of the tasks in the GMB process checklist. That's where that's what the mastermind is for. In fact, just so you guys know, I am actually in the process of developing full set SOPs, standard operating procedures, for every task in the GMB process checklist. My goal is to have it done by the end of January, in part in part because Google's changing things around. And I know I'm going to end up having to redo a lot of it because Google My Business dashboard is supposed to be going away, except for multi-location businesses. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at is I'm developing SOPs for every one of the tasks in the GMB process checklist. Mastermind members will get those. They won't be available anywhere else. End of story. So if you want full on standard operating procedures that you could even hand off to a VA, come join the mastermind. If you just want it to learn how to do it on your own, come join the mastermind. If you got questions about specifics within the GMB process checklist, come join the mastermind, guys. We have a great quarterly offer. Check it out. Come try us out for 3 months. And you can ask as many questions, as specific questions. I go into mastermind webinars and actually teach. I show real live examples, my own assets, everything else in the mastermind. I would encourage you to come check it out. Were you one of you guys going to comment?
I was going to ask you if somebody wanted to ask you personally about how to do this stuff, where would they be able to do that?
In the mastermind.
There we go.
Not only that, but when you join the mastermind, you get a 30-minute onboarding call with me, which is generally just so I can find out about you and your business and find out like how to point you in the right direction to get the best use out of the mastermind. But I love those calls because it always shows me or reveals to me areas of weaknesses in other people's businesses, so that it helps me to develop training around that on like how to resolve issues and that sort of thing. So I really enjoy that. And Aaron, you haven't scheduled a call with me yet. He joined the mastermind, right? From the winner of the 7-year anniversary. Anyway, Aaron, make sure you schedule your call with me, buddy. I haven't seen it yet, but you get 30 minutes with me. So do that.